The Oakland Raiders were talking to Bank of America and U.S. Bank regarding their intent to have or secure stadium financing for their proposed NFL stadium in Las Vegas. Then other reports replaced Bank of America with JP Morgan Chase. Since then, I've gotten texts and emails and YouTube comments asking me to explain JP Morgan Chase. Lay Raiders fans and lay NFL football media people entirely missed the point of this. And I'll provide that point by way of example. In the case of the Minnesota Vikings now completed and open new stadium, the U.S. Bank Field, in the competition to finance that stadium project, there was not one or two or three or even 5 or 10 investment banking firms or 15. No, there were 22 different companies competing for the right to underwrite the bonds associated with that stadium development plan. That's right, 22, including Piper Jaffray, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, and the list goes on. Goldman Sachs too, yes. The bottom line is that when you have the credibility, certainty, and capacity that the government, team, and development organization are going to build a stadium that is going to be able to pay for itself and has the necessary fiscal backing should one of the revenue sources decline, when all that's in place, what you get are people, investment bankers, fighting for the right to represent that property. That is not happening in the case of Las Vegas and the Oakland Raiders. Now let me make it the point from another perspective. JP Morgan Chase reportedly loaned Stan Kroenke's development company, which is building the Inglewood NFL Stadium, which will be at $2.9 billion, the largest, the most expensive ever, $1 billion toward that effort. That's the largest single financing ever in NFL or stadium financing history. Now, that happened not because of the project itself, more because of the person at the center, Mr. Kroenke, and his incredible wealth and his banking relationships. If that sounds familiar, you start thinking about Sheldon Adelson, you get the picture. Mr. Adelson had a similar situation that he was trying to bring to bear in the case of Las Vegas, which is a much longer shot, obviously, than any other example you can think of in league relocation history, for obvious reasons. But he backed out of the deal, and for a story that we're all familiar with if you paid attention to it. If not, I'll explain that the reason Mr. Adelson backed out is because he discovered, along with his deputies, that the Raiders had drafted a stadium lease proposal that did not include them and was done behind their back. And so, having been informed of an original attempt to take him out of the picture last fall, Mr. Adelson said, I've had enough, and I don't want to negotiate with the Raiders anymore. I'm out of the deal. I wish them luck. But in leaving the deal, what Mr. Adelson took with him was not just the $650 million he was going to put in the stadium, but the fact that it came as a no-money angel investment of large proportions, and Mr. Adelson spent millions essentially paving the way for the Raiders, hiring lobbyists, making deals with Nevada legislators, and achieving a vote that created the provision for a $750 million subsidy that would be used to pay for stadium construction, and that originally Goldman Sachs was going to finance. But when Sheldon Adelson left, Goldman Sachs backed out as well. So it's that reason that the Raiders are essentially being left high and dry in Las Vegas, in the desert. Something else, too. When you have so few suitors, or people that the Raiders are talking to regarding financing, organizations, basically, I don't care if it's JP Morgan Chase or Bank of America or US Bank, the bottom line is this. Because you have so few, it means that you, as the Raiders organization, are subject to whatever terms they can throw at you, because they know you don't have any other place to go. And if they decide to team up and you can't talk to anybody else, they can really offer terms to you that are not in your favor, not just because of the fact that there's so few, but because of the reason behind it. First of all, you don't have a well-moneyed person involved in it who has a lot of property that they can apply as collateral, A. B, that's the first problem. The second problem is equally large. The Raiders are in a proven NFL market, the San Francisco, Oakland Bay Area. The Las Vegas market is unproven for pro football, period. That means risk. And with risk comes high interest rates, high terms, and high risk factors that an investment banking company wants to mitigate. Stay tuned. Oh, by the way, don't forget to buy the Zenny62 t-shirt and subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube. And tonight, my buddy Rick Serratella is going to come on to Zenny62 Live, and we're going to talk NFL Combine. He is one of the premier experts on NFL talent and college football players headed to the NFL in the United States. Well, the world. Join us. 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 midnight Eastern. See ya.